In this video, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite font pairings so that you can use some of these fonts when you're designing your t-shirts. Let's go! Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juna with Detour Shirts, the channel all about helping you design and sell t-shirts online. So this video is a companion video to a video done earlier about my 5 favorite fonts. After that video, some people asked, can you do a video about font pairings, pairing one font with another font, and hopefully they work together, because a lot of times that's really hard when you want to put 2 fonts on a t-shirt and sometimes they don't match. So in this video, I'm going to show you 8 font pairings that I like, that I use in my t-shirt design, and you can use these in yours as well. So they match and they work well together. You're going to want to stay till the end to see all 8, as well as another edition of trend credits. So let's get into it. I'm going to open up Affinity Designer and show you the fonts in there and how I pair them and how they look together in a t-shirt design. So here we are in Affinity Designer. The first one I want to talk about, the first pairing I want to talk about is an easy pairing. So for those of you that want something real easy, this is just Evolith bold and Evolith thin. So one thing you can do is just do the bold and thin versions, the font weights. Look at the font weight. So you can see here, Evolith. If I click on it, there's thin, there's light, there's bold. So I'm just using the bold and the thin together. They work really well because they're the same font, just in the same font family, just the different weights. So you can see what I did here for this design here. I just bolded the letters on the front, and this spells out shred this way, up and down, and it also reads show up, hustle, repeat every day. So this is great for acronyms or whatever, and you can see they work really well because they're made to go together. So you can buy these online. Let me show you where to buy them. So Evolith can be found on My Fonts. It's by Yellow Design Studio. You can see right here, and these are the different font weights and the whole font family. I love this font because it has icons and shapes and shadows. It's really cool. So you can see here, you can get the whole complete family for that right there. I use a lot of these together. Look at that. That's just a beautiful font anyway. And what makes it for me is, the reason why I got this is the shapes and the icons. So you can use this inside of your design as well. So putting Evolith bold and Evolith thin is my first font pairing. So the second font pairing is also kind of in the same font family. This one's actually Glorious Sunday Script and Glorious Sunday Title. So you can see here how I use both of them together. They really match here. This one right here is the title, and of course this one is the script. So you can use them together. In fact, that's what they're built for. So you can use them together. So this is right here how I would use it on a t-shirt design. Let me show you where you can buy these. So I bought my Glorious Sunday pack here at Creative Market. This is another great place to find cool fonts that you may not find anywhere else. So you can see here just the 2 in the family, Glorious Sunday Title, which is kind of just capitals, and Glorious Sunday Script, which is the script font, and they work really well together. Let me show you some of these examples here. Let's go through it. Glorious Sunday. So you can see how they work well together, as well as with some of these graphics here, what they're using. So makes nice Christmas cards as well. So that is where you can get the Glorious Sunday fonts. So this third pairing is kind of an odd one. I have this really thick font. You've seen it before, NEXA Rust Slab. It has those big slab serifs. And then I'm pairing it with this brush font here. It's called Spood Brush Bold. You can see how I'm using it for a t-shirt design. I like them together because they have this like distressed texture on it, and I think they work well together. So let me show you where you can buy these 2 fonts. If you've seen some of my other videos about fonts, you'll know that NEXA Rust is free from Font Fabric here. So you can go there, just type in NEXA Rust font in Google and you'll find it, Font Fabric. The other font is called Spood Brush, and you can find that on My Fonts. It's a really cool brush font. I like it. Let's look at some of the examples here. You can see they're pairing it with other fonts as well here. So looks good. And they're actually pairing it with their Spood Brush Sans right here. And this font family comes with some extras, these swashes, and I really like that too. So you can pair it with these, or you can pair it with that NEXA Rust font. Either way, they're going to look really great. This font has helped me sell a lot of t-shirts, so you want to get this one. So here's my next font pairing for you. You'll notice that I love pairing script fonts with other fonts. So this is VENEER Clean Italic, and this is Back Soda here. So VENEER, again, I love VENEER, but this one doesn't have the distress. This is just a nice clean version of VENEER. And this is a nice script font, Back Soda. I love the thick and thin things going here. You can see how it works together in this design that I made here. Stop thinking and start making. Let me show you where you can buy these fonts. So you can find Back Soda on myfonts.com. I noticed I spelt it wrong on Affinity Designer. It doesn't have a C, it's B-A-K Soda. So you can see, let's look at some of these samples. It pairs really nicely with like a sans serif font here. You can see there, right here, again, they pair it with a sans serif. So this script font goes really well with a lot of fonts. And VENEER Clean, you can see it is a nice sans serif font like they were using. This one's just more condensed, but this one as well has italic, regular, and has these extras here that you can use. Just like VENEER had, VENEER Clean also has the clean versions of these. And you can also find this on myfonts.com. So for my retro pairing, I have Cooper Black and Santa Elia script here. You can see how they pair together. They both have that retro feel because they're kind of rounded and thick. So you can see here how I used it to design a t-shirt phrase, just kind of putting them together. So this is another one where I pair a script font with a non-script font. Let me show you where you can buy these fonts. So both these fonts can be found on myfonts.com. And you can see here, this is Cooper Black. It's just real basic, just vintage. It's kind of expensive, but I think there's other places you can find this as well. But if you want this one, it comes in regular and italic, and you can get both of them here. Santa Elia is also here. This is just a huge font family, 44 fonts, and it looks really cool. They have the different weights. You can see the line, light, extra lights, regular, bold. And it also comes in like a rough version too. So you can see some of these are the rough version, has the distressed on it. So really good font to pick up here. I like this one. You can see the different styles here, thick and thin. They work together. This is another one where you could use the thick version and the thin version together. So just really cool. Nice vintage style. So here's another font pairing where I do the script font and a non-script font here. This one's called Montana Rough, and this one's called KILN Serif. You can see how it works here. This one's a little more distressed than a lot of the other ones, so you can see really distressed. And they work well together because they're both distressed. But I really like how this one's kind of it has the serifs in here. This one just feels more like a Western pairing. Let me show you where you can buy these. So both of these can be found on myfonts.com as well. You can see Montana here without the distress is paired with a sans serif font here. We can look at some of the here. This is just a beautiful font. It comes in clean and rough styles, you can see here, and just very nice. One of my favorite script fonts that they have here. And not too bad, $15 each. And KILN is also a nice font family. You can see all the different types here. Come in rough, italic. They got this pinch version, which I don't use. It's kind of neat, but I never used it for t-shirts. So you can see here sans serif shadow. They have serif and serif shadow, and then spiked and spiked. So that's kind of what they do in this font family. So really cool font as well. So pairing these together works well for me. So here's a font pairing that I didn't use a script font. I'm using thick and thin again. So Chuck 5 print, kind of a thicker version, and the Forgin rough one is a thinner version, so you can see how they work together. I like doing this thick and thin as well. These two are different fonts, but they work well together. One's thicker, one's thin, one has slab serifs, one doesn't have serif, so you can see how that works here. Let me show you where you buy these. So the Forgin font can be found here on myfonts.com. They have clean, vintage, online, stamp 1 and stamp 2. I used stamp 1 in my example, but you can see this is a great font for vintage stuff. Look how cool it is. So this font family is really neat. Love the outline. Chunk 5 font, you can find it here on Font Squirrel, and they have Chunk 5 regular and Chunk 5 print. It's made by the League of Movable Type, and I think you can find a free version on it there if you search the web for the League of Movable Type. So I saved my favorite font pairing for last. Here's Thirsty Rough and VENEER. So you can see how they work here. They would just work perfectly together. Another script font and sans serif font here. So I use this pairing all the time. If you look through some of my shirts, you'll see this over and over again. It just works really well. And pairing it with some simple graphics, vintage graphics, works really well for me. So let me show you where you can buy these. Thirsty Rough here, you can see it's a big font family of 21 fonts. Let's look through all of them. They have the light version, rough versions here, bold versions, black versions. And they also have this right here for free, the Thirsty Rough textures, which can help you add textures to fonts that don't have textures. So this is a really cool thing right there. And let's go to VENEER. You can see VENEER has 8 fonts in its font family. You can see VENEER, VENEER Italic, and just different ways and extras here, like I said, you can use. So you probably noticed they're both made by the same studio, Yellow Design Studio. That's why they work so well together. So if you want to go and if you find a font that you like, try and look and click on the studio here that did it or who makes it, and you may find another pair that works well with the font that you're going to buy. So that's just a pro tip there. If you find a font that you like, there may be another font that studio or that company has published or has done that will match your font. So that's another font pairing that you can do. So that is it for the fonts. Those are all 8 font pairings. Let me go back and show you because I think I typed some of them wrong and I typed them correctly now so you can read them. So let's go back, look at all of them again one last time because I had some typos in there the first time. So first, Thirsty Rough and VENEER, great font pairing. Chunk 5 print and Forgin rough one. I think I had Chuck 5 before. So Chunk 5 print and the Forgin rough one. Montana rough and KILN serif. Cooper black and Santa Elia script. VENEER clean and back soda, no C, BAKSODA. NEXA Rust slab and Spood brush bold. Glorious Sunday script and Glorious Sunday title. And Evelith bold and Evelith thin. Those are all the different font pairings that I shared in this video. And you can see they look really well together. There's some other font pairings, but these are the ones that I use the most in my designs, and they work really well together. So hopefully this video is really helpful for you. Hopefully you can see how you can pair fonts together even though they may not be the same font family. So go ahead and use these fonts, get them and try them out on your designs. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite pairing that you like to use. I'd love to hear it and maybe add it to my collection. And thanks for staying all the way to the end. Your reward is another edition of Trend Credits. Thanks for staying to the end for this trend credit. Here's your trend. I don't crash, I do random gravity checks shirt. So you can see here, this would make a great present for those that ride bikes or motorcycles. You can see the low BSRs, 140,000, 913,000, some higher ones here, but you can see 422,000. Let's check Merch Informer. It's getting an A, so you know that's good. I got a link in the description for Merch Informer. If you don't have this already, to help you with your trend. So trend today, real quick, I don't crash, I do random gravity checks. Great for biking shirts. Go ahead and do this. There's so many different ways to do this. Of course, you can do with a silhouette or a drawing of shirts. And it doesn't have to be a bike. I think some of these were there, look. So snowmobile, anything that you can ride and crash on, I guess, is the thing. So maybe skis. Let's see if there's anything else here. Mostly motorcycles though. ATVs, yeah, ATVs here. So think of that. That is your trend for today. Thanks again for staying all the way to the end. And if this video gave you some value, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.